Ashish, your logo is appearing in inverted way to me. Like, not sure if you have mirrored your image.
Um, it's possible. Let me just check.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all the entrepreneurs and all the exporters who have joined us today for the fifth session of India Exports International Business Week 2024. This initiative is basically a crucial step towards empowering the Indian small and medium enterprises to capture the opportunities in the global markets. India Exports webinars have been curated specifically for the Indian entrepreneurs across key sectors, and these webinars will be available on our YouTube channel. By providing sector-focused knowledge within a short span, our goal is to equip participants with essential skills and insights to thrive as exporters in their fields. Today, our focus will be on the creative manufacturing sectors encompassing handicrafts, home and decor, toys, and jewelry, and products like this, which these industries showcase India's rich cultural heritage, craftsmanship, and innovation to the world. These sectors basically hold immense international market potential as Indian creative products are celebrated globally for their authenticity, aesthetic appeal, and high quality. With the rising demand for sustainable, handcrafted, and unique products, India is well positioned to establish itself as a leader in these markets. However, to unlock these potential, Indian MSMEs must overcome unique challenges such as ensuring consistent quality, meeting international sustainability and compliance standards, leveraging digital platforms for global visibility, and building efficient supply chain networks. This webinar will address these challenges and outline strategies to enhance the appeal of Indian creative manufacturing products to the global consumers. With that, we are honored to bring together experts, successful exporters, and thought leaders in the creative manufacturing industries to this session, who will share their practical advices and experiences and insights to guide our entrepreneurs in navigating the global markets. We encourage all of you participants to please take part actively in this session, ask your questions, and take advantage of the expertise shared by our distinguished panelists today. Now, I would like to invite our esteemed speakers and moderator to lead us through this session on the India Exports International Business Week 2024. I would like to invite Ms. Radhika Agarwal, founder Jagdamba Jewelers and Pearls, to the panel. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Ashish Chandra, co-founder GlobalFair. Welcome, sir. Mr. Romil Dhakar, co-founder Casa, Arte, Decor. Welcome, sir. Ms. Minali Agarwal, co-founder PepPlay. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Rahul Bafna, director Sunwoodd Expo. Welcome, sir. Mr. Jaibeer Nain, senior area sales manager, sales and solutions from UPS. Welcome, sir. And also, I would like to invite our moderator for this session, Ms. Sushma Morthania, Director General, India SME Forum. So we look forward for the session, and we are sure that we will have a very amazing session today. With that, welcome to you, Sushma ma'am.
Thank you very much, Najma. Najma is the convener for this project called IndiaXports that we have been conducting for past 3 years with the support and association with UPS. And it has definitely marked a great impact on our MSMEs. And each year we have been talking about potential of various sectors, and we have been hand-holding and facilitating MSMEs under this initiative of India Exports. This year, as part of India Exports, we are conducting International Business Week, and it started, I believe, on 9th and it ends on 19th. It's a little beyond a week. And as part of this business week, we are conducting about 8 sectoral webinars. And today I would like to welcome once again our viewers, members, subscribers, and the esteemed panelists who are here with me today on this India Exports webinar with a focus on creative manufacturing. Now, what is creative manufacturing? For the purpose of understanding of everyone, India's creative manufacturing sector encompasses of furniture, home decor, accessories, leather goods, toys, and any other articles and products that we make with hand and are of unique value. This particular sector, I would like to just, before we start with the panel, I would like to talk about a few figures and what kind of exports have been affected from India in these categories. When I talk about jewelry and accessories, $40 billion worth of gems and jewelry exports have been affected to countries like USA, from UAE, Hong Kong. Around $15.97 billion of polished diamonds have been exported. When you talk about handicrafts and products made by artisans, $1.8 billion worth of handicrafts have been exported. This is a projected market of almost $57 billion by 2026. There's an export of leather goods worth 4.87 billion to European countries, US and UK. Home decor and home furniture have crossed about 1.1 billion, once again to US, Europe and Middle East. And when you talk about toys and stationery, 1.66 billion worth of exports have been done to US and Europe. So these are some major chunk figures that I've tried to cover, not to mention smaller volumes being done to smaller countries. And if I was to talk about what is the existing potential currently for these creative manufacturing products, to Europe and West European parts, it's almost 10.1 billion potential still exists. North America, the potential is about 11.8 billion US dollars. South America is about 2.1 billion US dollars. Eastern Asia and South Asia together, it's about $14 billion. And Middle East is about $5.8 billion. So when we are talking about so much of potential for creative manufacturing products, and India being a country so rich in heritage, so many culture, tradition, and so many skills, so much skill lying with our artisans, with our two-tier, three-tier cities, where you get to see temples, figurines, jewelry, handcrafted goods, leather goods, so many things, and around the world. And today, with our esteemed panelists, I would like to discuss how is it that they found a market? What are the current opportunities and how do we address them and create a path for others to follow and boost exports in this sector? So once again, I would like to founder of Jagdamba Jewelers, and you have launched very recently your jewelry brand Aroha. Congratulations for that. It's doing extremely well.
Thank you so much.
And you've been also awarded as a Woman of Excellence Award by WEF. So once again, congrats. And
Thank you
I
so
would like
much.
to start this session with you by asking you, how did you start your journey for exports with Jagdamba? And are you also taking Aroha to other countries? So over to you, Radhika ji.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji. So coming to us, I'm from Jagdamba Jewelers and Pearls, as you said. It's a 90-year-old Pearls brand. So Pearls was not so difficult to go into the international market, but still, one big challenge that we were facing were how to identify the right genuine buyers in the market. So that was a big challenge, how to go about it. And what we did is we started doing a lot of D2C business. Okay, and we had through our website, we started doing it and it worked very well. And this is where I understood one thing, that we have been going behind B2B a lot, wherein D2C is an excellent platform to look into. Okay, and so that way now what was happening was earlier, especially this happened during the pandemic, because our physical sales had come down to, they were too low. So that time we started, though we had the website, we haven't been, doing too much of marketing and using it. And after, during the, pandemic, we started working a lot on D2C, and we understood that now we had the entire world open for us. We need not have physical stores around the world. So we were able to reach to customers. And in fact, that was helping us to create a good personal experience for the customers. So that was one thing, how it could help us. Now coming to, that was the time I also understood that there were a lot of problems in jewelry also that people were facing, The jewelry was very expensive. People did not, wanted to invest too much, but everybody wanted to wear jewelry. So we thought we should come up with something which is cost effective. People wanted to travel a lot and they wanted to carry jewelry. But again, that was a big hindrance, that they could not carry jewelry because it is too expensive. It might get lost. So thinking about all these things, I thought, why not I come up with a brand which has all these? So we launched a brand called Aroha, which is travel destination jewelry. Okay, so wherein we are making jewelry in gold with creative diamonds, and it started working very well because people initially took up for destination weddings and travel purposes, but then they realized that these products are really good to be worn on regular basis. So now we started doing a lot of manufacturing in the delicate products, making lighter designs for workwear, everyday wear. So that way, I think it is an excellent market. We came up with something creative and which is cost effective. This is what, and it needs to have a good quality. So because it was a new brand, people were little apprehensive to invest into it. So we said, okay, we will give you a buyback also, which again worked. So I think whenever anybody is launching a brand, these are certain things that needs to be taken. What is the consumer looking at? What is the pocket permitting? And how it could be used. So, and if it is a good quality product, I think it will work. And definitely it worked for us quite in a very good way for us. So I think that answers your question.
Thank you, Radhika ji. I would like to move on to Romil. Romil Dhakar, he's the founder of Casa Arte Decor from Udaipur, Rajasthan, and they manufacture and export luxury handmade home decor and furniture products made from real gemstones, mother of pearl, and stone inlay. And I have seen personally some of Romil's products, and they are simply outstanding. And everybody kind of wants to own one piece of what his products look like. So Romil, I would like to understand from you, when is it that you figured out that there is a market, and how did you pursue that opportunity?
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the intro. Well, the journey has been quite outstanding, and sometimes, when you decide to do something, uh, things start happening, and that's what the case is with me. So, I came to Udaipur. I said to myself that I have to start a business. Now, that's clear. Now, how you do it, that's up to you. Udaipur was rich in culture. It has always been rich in art. So my first thought was do something to bridge the gap between the artistry and the demand in various Western countries, because I've been there. I've seen how people are crazy about it. What are the exorbitant prices they are paying for it? But at the same time, they're not buying directly from the source. They're taking it from an exporter who then takes it from a vendor who then gets it made to an artist. So I was sitting on a gold mine, so to say, at that time. And that is where, I printed my business card, putting all sort of art forms which can be possibly done in Udaipur, and started marketing myself. Went to trade fairs, met people, and you know what? When you spend a lot of time in corporate jobs, it teaches you how to present yourself. So I was donning a company T-shirt. I was putting a MacBook for my presentation. I didn't have a factory. I didn't had anything to do with manufacturing, but that first presentation kind of clicked with few people. One fine day, somebody gave me a call, Romil, I want to visit your factory, and we want to see what products you make. I was traveling to some other place for a wedding. I called up my partner at that time. I said, brother, we need to print a flex of our company. Why? Because we need to put it at somebody else's company so that we can show it that this is where we produce. We did that. We took that customer. He had a tour. First order. So we got the first order. We made the first order, and that is when this started rolling into multiple orders, from the first order of, let's say, a few lakhs to now. I have customers who have given me orders in crores, and they've not even visited my unit till now. And this is like, I'm talking about a history of 5 to 7 years. The customer has been placing orders. So there are some bottlenecks we always have in our but I think we can always challenge them by just the sheer grit that if you want to do something, it will definitely happen. And there are people who can buy. There are people always. You have to bridge that gap between your cost and that selling price which they are coming up with. So that was my story.
Well, great. Thanks, Romil. While we are still discussing, how did you crack the export opportunity for the first time for your enterprise? I would like to move on to Mr. Rahul Bafna. He's the director of Sunwoodd Expo, and his company is a leading manufacturer of furniture, and his company also specializes in wooden, metal, and marble furniture. So Rahul ji, can you please tell us about how did you crack the first export order, and where did you see the opportunity?
Thank you so much, ma'am. As well as the opportunities, like I'm coming from a business background family. So we were into textiles before, like my grandfather was into textiles, and then my dad did something else on his own. So coming from the same blood, I just wanted to thrive into something new. And apparently, exports attracted me very well in all scenarios, because when you see about the transparency and the working style of an exporter, you feel very overwhelmed when you see all the documentation and everything happening in the planned structure. So it was all about what attracted me first, and it was all about the planning and execution. We did, like, it's been 3.5 years now we are exporting, and our major export markets are US, Denmark, Australia. The main thing what I learned in my journey is, like, it's never about your sales or your targeted customers. It's all about your relations, what you make with your customers as well as your vendors. So my first customer was a relative, or you can also tell him as a relative, because my relations with everyone is beyond the relations what I got with my blood. So he was the first who had a confidence in me that I can do something, and he gave me a very first order of $1 lakh for the furniture market. He was into furnitures, hard goods, and lighting, and he was from USA. He gave me his first order, and we did it complete. He gave me a timeline of around 6 months, but we completed the first order in already 4 months lead time. So that is what I can always praise for. You just have to be confident. You have to do something in your targeted clients and ethically. Thanks.
Great. Lovely to hear that. Now we move on to Ms. Minali Agarwal. Minali is a co-founder of PepPlay, and she specializes in manufacturing products for engaging children, and these are play and learn. So am I right, Minali? So these are the products Minali manufactures, and she has also found a opportunity. I do know a part of her export journey, but I would like to hear it, once again. So, Minali, would you like to share with all of us about how did you crack your first export deal?
Yeah, thank you, Sushma ji, for having me here. So my first export journey starts with Sushma ji. So that's a special relation that we have. So basically, I belong to a IT background. I was with Accenture for 10 years, and I have a very interesting story how I started the educational toy brand in India. So this has always been a Chinese business which has been dominated by China, and I belong to a business family, and it always intrigued me as a mother that why are we using so much China products. And that's how me and my husband thought that we should do something in toy industry, but something which is educational, because the new parents are looking for products where a child is learning while they are playing. So that's how we started the business. And only after the first year, we were only 1 year old when we got an opportunity from India SME to exhibit in Birmingham show. And it was our first year. We were very overwhelmed, and we were not sure that our products will be accepted in European market. But it was a very good experience where we got our first order, and the person who gave us the order, she came to India last month to meet me. She is so happy with the products. And after UK, we have also been doing business with UAE, Australia, and even US is something that we haven't cracked yet, but we are looking forward for US as well. So the thing is that if you are confident about the product that you are creating, and if the product is unique and is different from what others are doing, I think there's a market for all the products. We have to be persistent, and patience is something which is very important at the starting budding entrepreneurs, because uh, due to lack of funds and bootstrapped companies, the main thing is patience, because we feel that we should get results very fast, but it doesn't happen like that. It sounds rosy that I got the order in the first year, but the second order took another 1 year. It was not like that. My journey just started with the first order and then it was all rosy. I had to do a lot of efforts for my second order also. So the journey is still going on. We are still at a very nascent stage, but I'm really happy that India SME could give us that platform and the budding entrepreneurs can grow.
Well, thank you, Minali. That's so lovely to hear, and we are happy for you. Of course, at India SME Forum, we are always happy to handhold and help. Now that we heard from our, the entrepreneurial perspective of how they started their exports journey, and they also believe that what are those, attributes or elements that the buyers seek from the exporters. But I would like to bring in Sri Ashish Chandraji here, who's the co-founder of GlobalFair, and he has been instrumental in providing a platform for many, furniture products and the other such products who are looking for international markets. And I would like to understand from Ashish ji, what is the perspective of a buyer and what is he looking at when he wants to see or even procure any of these creatively manufactured products, and what is the buyer's point of view? Ashish ji?
Sushma, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here. And it's great to meet all the panel members as well. Great to hear everybody's story. And I love to have met everybody in person, but we have to make do with the technology that we have. So it's a pleasure to be here. I think it's a great question what you posed to me, Sushma. And that is, in my opinion, the quintessential part of what we need to do to grow as a business. So when we think about from a customer's point of view, we have to stop thinking about us as Indians and trying to sell to the world and what skills we bring to the table and all that, because that's all in an inside out view. We are sitting inside a well and we are like a frog trying to see what's outside. But when you see people who are peering inside, outside in perspective is that if you're an American, imagine yourself to be a white American person who has a 10, $20 million business. They've been buying from China for decades. China's exports are 10 times as big as India, and I always say that, 10% shift from China to India will double India's exports. So that means that, we just need to pry away small business from the Chinese. But that's not going to be easy, because when you think about what the customers buy today, where they're buying from, what kind of products they're buying, their experience is very different. And we need to be able to match that experience at the very least, both in terms of product quality, as well as what product we're selling. So our products have to be latest. In case the product is design specific, like in Radhika ma'am's case, then it has to be latest designs and what is the in thing right now. And if it is a toy like Miss Minali, then it has to be a toy that is something unique, which is something people have not seen, and so on. So it has to be something which is unique for the market. It has to be something that meets the quality standards, and it has to meet the customer experience standard. So, when we send our products, sometimes packaging is the most important thing. But I've seen that a lot of entrepreneurs in India don't invest enough in packaging. So just in my business, what we do is whatever we sell, 20% of the cost of the order is going into packaging itself. Why? Because we want to make sure we give them like an iPhone unboxing experience to people when they open the box and see what's inside. because that's half the sale done then and there. If you send something in a box which is not properly fitted and it's not well designed, then the customer switches off, especially the Western customers switch off immediately. Even though you may have used the best products to make the product, if the packaging is not nice. So I cannot stress this hard enough, and it was in my experience as well. This is the first thing we solved for. When we were sending our samples to the customers, we used to send a very high quality box. A lot of times people in building materials industry especially send like PVC wrap, polythene wrapped samples and just send it as a DHL package to people. But we would send like an outside box and an inside box with proper branding on those boxes, and there is a brochure inside, and there's a very nice stuffing material so that the material does not get damaged. And that got us a lot of kudos, and we started a business 4.5 years ago. We started with like $100,000 order, but we quickly jumped up to $5 million in the first year itself. And that was because of the fact that we have taken so much effort in making sure that the customer experience needs are met and how we handle the queries. The other thing to worry about as exporters is that there's a big time zone difference between our businesses and their business, right? So somebody has to be available in the evening and the night times when our customers are up. And in our case, we work across 7 time zones. So we have to make sure somebody's able to take a customer call in each of the time zones and make sure that we are available every time they need something. So I think what I'm trying to summarize it is that saying that customer experience is very, very important. We have to remember that we are competing against the rest of the world. We are competing against the Italians, the Vietnamese, the Thai, Malaysians. If you go to Vietnam, the quality of manufactured goods is so high. And Vietnam is a tiny country of the size of Kerala, probably. But the exports from Vietnam are as much as India, right? They're as big as India. And they're beating India this year, I think. So you have to think about why that is the case and look at some of their products and say, look, what can we do better in terms of our manufacturing quality, our customer experience, and how we manage a business.
No, absolutely, Ashish ji. I mean, I couldn't agree less. Whatever you said, you were just on dot. And whether it is creative manufacturing, B2B or B2C, expectations are building up, and when you talk about creative pieces, creative articles, more than the article, of course, the packaging and how it is presented also plays such an important role. And it is also a game of, awing a consumer. I mean, he has to be in the awe of that piece or that product or to get more business. Absolutely taken. With that, in fact, I would like to, connect this question to Mr. Jaibeer Nain, Senior Area Sales Manager of UPS. UPS Express Private Limited, and he has more than 20 years of experience in this field. And Jaibeer ji, I would like to, ask you, I mean, in your experience, what kind of market demand you have seen for Indian products or Indian creatively manufactured products, and what kind of facilitation UPS has been able to provide, or what can you support with?
Yeah, thank you, Sushma ji, for inviting us. And while Ashish talked about frog, and I completely agree. And in fact, the growth in this sector is also leapfrogging. We have seen the kind of penetration is completely ubiquitous. Like if you see, it's going from within 4 years back to back, there is a growth of 20%, 500 billion to 1 trillion industry. So it's amazing to see. And again, this story is what I heard. It's good to see how it's helping to create a gentle capitalism also within the country. Now, coming to your question, yes, the market, if you talked about, while the precursors for the growth in this particular industry used to be the Indian diaspora based out in different countries like US, Canada, or we talk about Australia and New Zealand. And then we have seen the other panelists talked about how they are ordering it to UAE or to Gulf countries. Uh, as far as the challenges, if you talked about or how UPS is helping out, so UPS, as you know, it's like more than 117-year-old organization. We are delivering 23 million packages every day, operating more than 2,000 flights every day. So we are and serving 220 countries across the universe. So while we are doing all this globally, in India, we have, and thanks to India SME Forum, we started one campaign which was Indian Exporter Program, which we are running right now for women entrepreneurs, where we are, training them. And why we are training them? Because if you see this industry specifically, 76% of the owners are women, and most of them, like 64%, are under 35 years of age, and then 62% of establishments comes from the rural settings. Now, what is the most important thing for them is the education and training. So we are conducting that program in India, where I am also one of the trainer. We are training, and we are training them from the very basic, which all website you should go to check, kind of trending is happening about your products, and then about the basic documentations, what all regulations are there in each country, and then taking to Mr. Ashish place where we talked about the packaging, kind of packaging they need to protect their products. And finally, the network what we have, which can connect them to any of the 200 plus countries and territories across the world.
So thank you, Jaibeer ji. Thank you. While you spoke about this program of, hand-holding women entrepreneurs for exports, in fact, I'm happy to mention here that this program, we are, of course, India SME Forum is leading this program with UPS for women. And in fact, recently we have launched Start Exporting in 8 Weeks program also, which I believe at the end of the program, at the end of today's webinar, Najma and her team can talk about it, and for the benefit of our viewers, how they can become part of it, because it's free and handholds them step by step. And in fact, I can mention here that both Minali and Romil ji have been, part of delegations led by India SME Forum to different international exhibitions. And that has, in a way, also provided platform to meet international buyers, understand international sensibilities, ethnicities, color tastes, what kind of designs work and what kind of finesse, purity, how does the final product look, and so on. So I have one question to Radhika ji, Romil, and Mr. Bafna, because you work, more or less with similar kind of creativity. Is how often do you adopt or adopt state of the art tools and automate your creative manufacturing process to get the final product which is complete in its finesse, in its look, in its quality, and it is able to compete with international products? Because Ashish ji did talk about, products from China, and even you spoke about it. So let's again start with Radhika ji. I mean, how do you manage to be competitive in the market?
I think it's a slow process. It could not be, regularly being, pivoting things, but definitely what we do is we keep taking regular feedback from clients. And as you just mentioned about a delegation, how they, Ms. Mrinali and Romil have been part of the delegation. I am now being part of a delegation, which is going to Milan, Italy. So see, we understand that for jewelry, we have very good markets in US and Europe and UAE. These are three important markets for us. So looking into these international markets, one second, just there's a call coming. Yeah. So looking into these international markets, we understand what is the sensibilities of the customers, what they would require. Now coming to the European market, we are looking at gemstones, pearls have a very good market. And I'm just talking from a jewelry point of view because I've been into this market. So, and in European market, people prefer taking natural diamonds with gold. And coming to US markets, it is we have lab-grown diamonds, and the product that we have launched, the travel jewelry, has an excellent market out there. Whereas UAE will have a market only for pure natural diamonds and gold. So what is important is the market, whichever we are catering, we need to understand what is the sensibilities, what are the preferences people are preferring there accordingly, and the trends that are going. Again, coming to jewelry, when it is India, it is heavy jewelry that we prefer for weddings and all. Whereas when we're talking about US market and European market, both lightweight jewelry works there. So, and it has to be lightweight, it has to be very trendy and minimalistic. And when it comes to UAE market, again, it is heavy jewelry that is required. So what we do is, according to our clients and according to the markets that we are catering, we are working on our products. And that's how I think designs are getting incorporated, and we prepare catalogs also accordingly to send to those kind of markets and catering to it. So this is how we are working on it. So I think that should be fine.
Romil, may I ask you how are you? Yeah, sure. Romil, may I ask you, I mean, how do you remain competitive in terms of designs of your products, and do you have any in-house designers, or how do you go about planning your articles?
Okay. So right now, everything we do is custom design, and I personally do that. Every month we are putting up around 300 odd designs of furniture. Out of them, we know that only 30 would go to the customer, but still we are doing it because we need to kind of see what works and what doesn't. And after these 30, if 3 get selected, I get like 3 containers worth of order. So that's how my economics work here. Now, in terms of design, since the product goes to various parts of the world, there are various different things you need to take care of. For example, if it is in Europe, Scandinavian design is prominent, so you have to be very minimal with your designs. The colors to be used are gray, blacks, whites, and you will sell a lot. But the moment you go to Middle East, that doesn't work. In Middle East, I think Radhika, you should be aware, they fancy gold color, they fancy blue, they fancy green. I mean, those are the stones which work well. So malachite, lapis, and all. So the moment you shift the geography, the whole perspective of the product changes. Then you go to probably in US. US has a very big topography. From the Florida and Miami side, east side, that's the Hampton style we call. And then in the Central American places, there's a lot of wood. So, oak wood and, rustic furniture is used. In LA, it is very modern again. So even in a country, so it has given me enormous, geographical knowledge, as to say, like, US has 51, 52 states. And in that, what are the capitals, what people prefer? There's a hell lot to learn. More, the origin of our design philosophy comes from Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. These are the 4 fashion weeks I follow prominently. What is there on runway is going to translate into lifestyle, and that is going to translate into home around in couple of years. So colors, as you mentioned earlier, play a very peculiar part. So this year the color is I think peach color of the year. The coming year the color would be I think it's future dark. It's like a brown. And the moment these color releases happen from WGSN or Coloro, you start seeing the market flooded with these colored products. So you have to be on top of it. There are industry experts who talk about it well in advance, and you have to kind of make sure that you follow the right people on Instagram, you follow the right people on LinkedIn, and you'll always be ahead in the curve. And that's what we have done.
Romil, that was such a crucial and critical piece of information that you shared with our viewers and members here today. Because that is something as entrepreneurs we always miss out, and that has been my experience as well. Because many a times, whenever we are talking to our members and subscribers and on open platforms, only people ask, "Okay, where can I get buyer data? Or where, whom can I sell my products to?" But that's not how exports work, because you are not going to spam their email boxes and just keep sending emails, and that's not how we are going to get buyers. Very clearly, as Romil said, there's a lot of hard work, because when you talk about creative manufacturing, each article piece that you are going to make is going to be unique. And that unique piece that you will be invested in, time, energy, effort, money, how do you make it most saleable? And to make it more saleable, I mean, there has to be an effort in understanding what's the future design, what is the color of the season, what is the demand, what kind of choices people have, and what is in vogue. So yes, thank you so much, Romil, for bringing up those points. In fact, I would like to move on to Mr. Bafna and would like to hear some more, comments on that. If you can add some more tips for our viewers.
So as Radhika ji and Romil ji said, like it's very huge network, and if you even in India, if you shift from the northern belt to the southern belt, you'll have the taste would be changing drastically. In the northern belt, they all want it gaudy and everything to be huge, but in southern belt, they want heavy carvings, the natural Indian. They have a very good taste for the unique antiques and Indian artistry. So what we do in our day-to-day life is like we have various tie-ups with various kind of interiors and architects in India also, as well as I have few friends in Europe and US. So they are designers over there, and we use various kind of technologies nowadays. Firstly, we used to develop samples day to day, but then we switched on to AutoCAD and SketchUp. So we use various kind of materials, we use technology, we use their 3D models, we mix them, we blend the finishes and everything, and then we launch those catalogs in the market, and then we see how the feedbacks come. Whenever we see a feedback is coming on a particular design, it's going good. So we develop a family for them, that particular product. So when I say like it's a particular, what we do is we make a side table or website for a particular product, and then we launch a catalog, and then we share with particular interiors, architects, and our friends in Europe and USA. So they go through the catalogs and they give us the selections. On the same selections, what we do is we make the families of that complete family of that furniture, because a furniture family is very big. You have a side table, you have a chair, you have a dresser, you have mirror frames, you have beds, everything accompanying that. So we make the families then, and then we use various kind of backgrounds also to showcase them on how the things would look upon on the floor. So that's how we do.
No, thanks for sharing that. I mean, I really agree this, because when you talk about creative manufacturing, every article, every product is an heirloom. And when you talk about an heirloom, you want to possess it. And when you possess it, I mean, not to talk about price, because people know that anything which you want to possess as an heirloom is going to be pricey. But
But they want to
today,
feel it,
want to,
how it would look on their place.
yes, I mean, how it's going to, marry their
Yes.
homes, or any other part that they wish to make it a part of. And, it's all these creative pieces are no longer just handmade, but they are an amalgamation of colors, designs, innovation, and also adoption of technology in the current times. And it's a combination of all. Definitely. Agreed, Rahulji there. Coming back to Minali. Minali, how do you, keep yourself abreast of what's happening in the educational toys sector, and how do you compete with other countries?
So,
Stay relevant.
yeah. So basically, for our industry, it is very important that we are aligned with the new parents, like what is the demand and what type of products the parents are looking at. So the toy industry is very volatile. It keeps on changing every year. If you will say that what product worked for me last year might not work this year, because parents' choices keep on changing as per the current situation. And with the digital world, it has become more difficult, because the attention span of the children as well as the parents have become feeble. I mean, even on Instagram, people say the reels have gone from 25 seconds to like now 10 seconds. Nobody watches a reel more than a 10 seconds. So you have to sell yourself in 10 seconds. So like that, when we are creating products, we have to create in such a way that a child is engaged and they're not getting bored for more time. And to say that even the Chinese or the other countries, like even the Malaysia and Vietnam, these countries are also making a lot of toys now. So to compete them, the best way is to be with the trend. You have to attend the trade fairs. You have to be on LinkedIn active. You have to be on Instagram. You have to keep showing what you're doing. And innovation is the key in our business. And I feel like, for example, like trade fairs, I would say the government of India is promoting so many trade fairs. Even the trade fair that we go, like in Germany and like in US, government pays for that. It helps as a SME, like the small business owners. It really gives us a help that we can go and showcase our products, and government backs us with that. And although the digital world has been a very strong support for us, because on LinkedIn we are able to show us to the world like what we are doing, but still I feel that the trade shows are very important, and going there and showing yourself is an important thing that everyone has to do.
Agreed, Minali. And of course, as Radhika ji said, that she is, coming along with us to Milan this year now. The delegation is just headed to go to Milan on 30th November, and they'll be there until 9th of December in Italy. And it's the largest fair in the artistic field. It's called Artigiano Fiera in Milano. That's where they are going to be, and I'm going to wish you all the best, Radhika ji, for that fair. Coming very quickly to Ashish ji, I'd like to understand how does the sellers of these creatively manufactured products being sold out, what kind of focus they need to have with packaging material which is environment friendly, and how do they keep themselves abreast and aware of all these packaging material available, because all we can think of is a carton and a plastic and a bubble wrap, and that's about it. So what, I mean, how does one keep abreast of what all is available?
No, that's a great question. I think two, three things come to mind. One is that we have to be aware of what the market standard is and what other people are doing. So the trade fairs that we are mentioning are an industry fairs of regular nature. I think they're fantastic, opportunities to see what other people are doing. In addition to our own trade fairs, there are fairs related to packaging materials itself, right? So there are packaging and stationery related trade fairs where people can go. But having said this, there are experts available in the market. Like, yeah, I think even in India, if you think about in Mumbai or in Delhi, maybe in Udaipur as well, we have people who are experts in packaging and boxing, and I think they will know the latest in their industry, what are the options which are possible, and therefore you can use some of those design ideas. Pinterest is a great source. Pinterest is a sort of website in the US which has got design and creative ideas. They're a great source for figuring out what options are available and what creative solutions are possible. But I think it boils down to our own customers and the stories that we want to present to our own customers, right? What are their requirements? It depends so much on the products. I think a lot of times packaging innovation comes from very simple requirement of reducing the volume without damaging the product, right? Because the cost reduces. And you want to have the smallest box in which, why iPhone did what iPhone did with their packaging was because they wanted to pack more iPhones in a carton or in a pallet of, phones than they had previously done. So you want to reduce the size of the packaging, so you want to package it nicely. Sometimes you want to protect the product a bit better. Sometimes you want to showcase different elements, there may be multiple items. So you have to think about the first principles, why people are doing certain things. I have seen people create multiple boxes and layers of boxes so that they can bring out their own products better and showcase each element of the product differently. I'm a big fan of Bose, for example. Bose, the audio company, their products are packaged really well, and it's based on the fact that in which order you will unpack a particular item, and then how will you install it, and how will the steps would be taken to install that product. So IKEA does a lot of that as well. So each person has to think about their own products and think about what is the innovation that is required, and not merely just leave it for somebody else to think about it and just put it into a box and ship it. So a bit more care and thought has to be applied for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing those tips. Coming back to Jaibeer ji. Jaibeer ji, we would like to understand from you, what are the challenges that you have come across, mainly those MSMEs face while shipping, number one. And number two, which is the most difficult country to ship creative products? Because when I say difficult, I would mean which has a lot of documentation or certification or not easily acceptable or I mean, some things like that. So I have these two questions for you.
Yeah, thank you, Sushma ji. So basically, if we see, the challenge over here is the consignee, who is the receiver of the goods, have a very visceral, connections with these kind of products, wherein the shipper, they need security, reliability, and consistency from the logistic partner. Now, coming to the challenges what we generally face, as you rightly mentioned, we are entering into different countries, wherein all the other countries, they have different kind of custom regulations, and so that changes the requirement at the destination. When we are doing B2B business, it is more controllable because the other entity at the receiving end is also business. They understand the compliances and they will meet that. But when we talk about direct to customer, then you face challenges in terms of reaching out to the right contact there. Whatever the KYCs are required, you procure that in advance so the delivery can be done on at a easier level, and we can add speed to that. As far as the products where you need more documentations, so food is definitely one category, where you need a lot of uh, prerequisites are there, which you need to have before you export to any of the countries. Like for in US, you need to have a FDA approval before you are sending it over there. Then the other part where the customers, where we see, customer uh, face challenges is understanding the DG part, maybe a dangerous good. They have a toy and they put a battery into it and they will export it without declaring that, and that will get stuck somewhere in the network, and then you have to give all kind of documentations like MSDS and other things. So those are the areas, Radhika ji, Sushma ji, where we feel there is some little bit of challenges comes in. But yeah, we can assure you that we are expert in this. So whatever the challenges are there, we clear the shipments and finally we deliver that.
Well, thank you very much. I believe we have crossed time, but I still would not want to conclude the program without asking one question to all of you. Is e-commerce and direct to consumer is the biggest sector or focus that's growing by the day, and there are no boundaries anymore. The world is our market, and that's the best way to present our products and just be there. So what are you doing? And I mean, would you recommend to our viewers that e-commerce is an immediate a path to become an exporter, and what is the opportunity? So just your comments on using e-commerce for exports. So we'll start with Romil. Romil, this time we would like to start with you.
Thank you. I thought I'll not be included in that because I have no inclination towards e-commerce as of now. So I have been always into B2B.
Any particular reason?
I love B2B. I mean, the volumes are enormous. For one product, imagine you get a chance to stuff a full container, 700, 800 of tables. It also gives you a lot of learning, producing something, making it your own, the way you want it, putting all the bells and whistles together. That's a very different journey. But yes, e-commerce, it's not that I'm not focusing it. I have done that. I did it very well. However, the challenges are across table very similar. To please everybody, it takes a lot of effort. Everybody has their own wishes, expectations from a product. The price has to be very competitive because then you are putting up with so many competitors at one marketplace. Packaging, as has been stated on this forum, is enormously important. You can put a $20 or 20 rupee packet, but pack it with all your might, like 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees on the packing. It is going to sell. It does sell. I've seen that. So there is a lot to innovate in terms of e-commerce per se. Even cross-border, as Jaibeer has been saying. I had few cross questions to him, but it's not that smooth. When we talk about e-commerce from India, air freight from India, it's enormous. Why China is excelling? China has very low cost of airfare, so China can ship to the world. India cannot. We are paying 750 rupees per kg for US, Europe. Is that where we can excel at exports? No, sorry. Plus, there are so many restrictions when it comes, even when we were talking about packaging. Yes, there are standards which have to be followed. ITSA, drop testing, everything. I think there was a section for those standards. So I'll kind of cover up for the sake of audiences here. The standards have to be very prominent. When you talk about packaging, your drop testing has to be crucial. You cannot ship a product just bhagwan ke bharose, because if it goes broken, you are in a very bad situation at that time. People do chargebacks, your accounts are suspended. I've gone through all, and that is why, as you asked, why you're not inclined towards e-commerce, and that is where I think my focus, I try to focus on one thing. I want to be known for as a manufacturing company, as a big bulk producer, and put my own label through rather than putting it through channels like e-commerce and all. So that's the thing.
Got it. Rahul ji, over to you. What do you feel? I mean, even your products are heavy and bulky when you come to nature. So, what do you feel?
I do feel e-commerce is trending nowadays, but yes, I agree with Romil. There are various kind of chargebacks, various kind of delivery failures. Actually, the customer who is buying through e-commerce, he's very less patient. So he wants everything by the end of the day in his hands. And talking about our products, we need a very good time to deliver those things. We need very good time to check those things and to manufacture those. It can only be possible if we do bulk manufacturing on ourselves and keep the inventory with us. So talking about e-commerce, it is not nearly possible for us because it has to be because there are various kind of prospects also. As he also talked about the air freight, we can reduce the air freights, but it has to be knocked down on the same track record. And doing knockdown assembly in India is not feasible at the moment because of the technology. The technology is very expensive rather than the pricing, and the customer would get the same thing in nearly 50% price from China if he buys so. Because customer buying through e-commerce, he's just buying through buying through the picture. He doesn't know what the product would be and how the product's construction would be.
So yes, I mean, Romil and Rahul ji both, are into the product category, which is bulky and it does not justify e-commerce exports. But I believe with Minali and Radhika ji already, in her first comment itself, she said that e-commerce works well because, of course, with precious jewelry and the price of that article also covers in a way that shipping cost. But once again, Minali, first comment from you on e-commerce and how has it been for you?
So basically, that's correct for Romil and Rahul. The main problem is that they customize as per the client requirement. For us, we create the products in bulk. So, and our products are lightweighted. So for us, Amazon.com is like the e-commerce platform where we have to just ship the products once and then it go in the auto mode. So whatever we are doing on Amazon.in in India, the same logic, the same algorithms, we have to just change the algorithm as per the demography, that what is the demand over there, and we have to do. And again, like I agree with Ashish, the packaging plays a very important role. I mean, for our product, you will not believe packaging is much more expensive, not even 20% of the product, but our packaging is almost equivalent to the product because people buy by seeing the packaging and then they will get the product. So in e-commerce world, that is one challenge that even a buyer is facing and even a seller is facing, that they have to make the product look beautiful digitally. So for that, actually more efforts we have to put. The packaging cost increases. So if you will see the returns in e-commerce is getting feeble day by day. We can't say that e-commerce business is very much profitable because the kind of spends that we do on advertisements, social media, performance marketing, they are getting high every day. The influencer marketing, which was initially the barter system, now it has minimum like 10 to 20K per reel is that what we are paying. So yeah, there are challenges, but e-commerce is something that can be done from India and we can tap different countries sitting from here. Every business comes with a challenge, but yeah, that's how we perceive digital marketing, digital selling the product.
Radhika ji?
So as I told earlier, for us, digital marketing have been working quite well. Here again, it works in two ways. When I'm talking about pearls and lightweight jewelry, e-commerce would work well. When I'm talking about heavy jewelry or little expensive ones, people would not want to place orders online. So what we have done is we are doing basically whatever jewelry could sell through online. That is what we are focusing, and I think it's a good market, very good market. Only thing, as already Romil ji, Rahul ji, everybody, even Minali has mentioned, that is, returns are too high. But
Yes.
because we have the orders are too bulk, we think we are still able to cater to that returns. That is something which we are still trying to work it out, how to cater to that the customers feel that okay, what we've seen is not what we're getting now. So for that, we're also creating virtual experiences, like how the jewelry looks on them, like that kind of experiences we are trying to create. And we have to definitely work. I think it is working very well when we are associating with Amazon. She's already mentioned we have other platform, Etsy, eBay. Through that, again, we're doing, there are a lot of marketplaces available. Apart from that, we're trying to explore the other marketplaces. And we definitely have to be part of the digital media, social media, wherein we need to through Instagram, because that is where the trends are coming. We need to show that this is what is trending, and we are having those products, and hence we would be able to get more customers, and people feel that okay, we could order this. This is, we have to create that need and desire in them. So this is again what could be done through social media and digital marketing. So I think for product of ours, wherein, pearls and lightweight products are concerned, I think it is a very good platform looking into D2C. It is and we are able to reach any part of the world. So that is again a very,
That's fine.
positive point for us.
Romil, you wanted to add something?
I wanted to actually ask a question to Radhika because, when we're talking about returns, Radhika, it was more of cross-border returns. How are you handling that? I mean, returns in India are easy to manage. We have a good network of service providers. But then if it is a cross-border return and we are specifically, the agenda is export of your things, how are those returns managed? That is one thing which we really struggle to kind of, think or take into account. So that was the thing.
If you're working with Amazon, so then it goes to the Amazon fulfillment centers. So that shouldn't be a problem for us. So it stays there. And then, if we get another order, it has to be executed from there. That is what we are doing. And majorly, let me tell you, the returns are more in India than cross-border. So I think people are, more decided and they understand what products they are seeing and what they're getting. It is better cross-border rather than in India. In India, they feel, okay, no, there is something which I wanted, I didn't wanted it like this, like that, and, it comes back. So the returns are higher in India. And to that some extent of returns that come from outside, we are able to do it because anyways we are dealing with the, Amazon and they're handling it. It is going to their centers.
Okay, so
Ashish
this
ji, I would like to come to you now. I mean, how do you justify, costs vis-a-vis packaging costs and e-com, because when you're selling on e-commerce, it is a few numbers. And as Minali said, packaging is sometimes costs as good as the price of the product or even higher. So how do we justify these costs? And in case of returns, I mean, the packaging is broken. So, so how, I mean, how do we, handle this mess?
I think it's part of cost of doing business, right? So we have to think about all our costs, add it together and say, this is the price at which we can sell it. But there is an added complexity that we have to then say that this price has to be lower than what a Chinese or a Vietnamese is selling it at, right? Because they are very competitive in their ways of doing things. They're probably more experienced than us. They started on this journey a bit earlier. And the compliance cost is lower on their side, right? So there are multiple issues because of which we become less competitive, but we need to figure out areas in which there is more margin to be created. My answer on all of these things is always premiumization, right? So if we have a brand where you are able to command the price that you want, then all the costs are taken care of, right? So you have to make your product and your brand as good that you can command a price that is sustainable for you, right? Instead of market dictating prices for you. So you have to have innovation in your product so that you can, you're not compared to any other product in the market, and hence you're able to command the price that you need. Or you have to have premium quality, which is known to the people that I'm higher quality, and you have to present yourself in a way digitally, as most people have said on e-commerce. The way of selling is slightly different, and you have to learn the new tricks and figure out how do we make enough margin on the same. But yeah, all this is cost of doing business. We have to cover for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and cost of doing business is not getting any lesser, it's only going higher. And last question to you, Jaibeer ji. I mean, what about all the documentation? I mean, Romil is happy doing B2B because he's sending containers with the same amount of documentation. And if I want to send one article through e-commerce, if I have to do same amount of documentation, it's too much of headache. So is there any difference or, I mean, how is it?
Yeah, so for e-commerce exporters, Government of India have started CSB 5, where the documentations are relatively less as compared to the commercial shipments. And even the clearance is also faster as compared to a former clearance of your shipment. So that ways they can go for CSB 5 and they can move a shipment up to 10 lakh rupees of invoice value over there. Yes, definitely B2B movement, which Romil is doing, the paper would be completely different as it will go through the former clearance. And as few of the panel members talked about the higher cost, and I do agree, having two wars going on and then Red Sea issues over there, and the surge in the market, it is impacting the cost for operations for even for us also. But at the same time, I would like to conclude this with a point that most of the time we keep on negotiating about the price, but we also have a lot of solutions that otherwise can give you a better dollar saving rather than, upfront saving maybe on the cost of the per kg rate. So I really welcome all the members here. They can reach out to me directly. We have a lot of solutions where we can give you those benefits directly or indirectly so that you can be more competitive in the global market.
Uh, Thank you so much, Jaibeer ji. And it has been a great discussion. And I would like to thank every panelist here today for having given their valuable time to be able to discuss the current opportunities that exist in exports in the creative manufacturing sector. And there is a lot more to be done. I would like to take an opportunity to mention here that this February, the Honorable Finance Minister had announced, e-commerce export hubs, which will be formed at different parts of the country to enable and empower and facilitate more and more e-commerce exports. And I'm glad to mention here that India SME Forum is also a front runner along with the UPS and its other partners to actually take a lead in formulating the entire scheme as well as policies for e-commerce exports. So, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to, circle back to all our members and viewers here with more information on that. And I would like to take once again the opportunity to invite our viewers and members to join the, IndiaXports program and start exporting in 8 weeks program, which I would now call upon Ms. Najma to, thank and conclude this session. There were a few questions which I saw in the chat box, but mainly they were about how do I get a buyer and, how do I connect them and how do I keep my stock at warehouse and questions like that. So these questions can be answered in the entire exports training that we are conducting. So I would rather have you join that and learn stepwise in a stepwise manner. So once again, thank you so much for being here and talking to me and giving such valuable insights through your experiences. It has been a great chat. Thank you so much. And Najma, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much all our esteemed panelists for this insightful session on the export opportunities for the creative manufacturing, which was another webinar under the series of India Exports International Business Week. We hope that the knowledge and information which was shared by our experts panelists empowers you and encourage you to confidently tap into the global markets. India Exports is basically committed to support all the MSMEs to, start their exports by offering targeted knowledge, practical tools, and guidance across various sectors. The series will continue for another 3 sessions, and if you would like to enjoy other sessions or if you would like to invite other entrepreneurs from your network to take part in this webinars, please visit our websites indiaexports.com and register for the program. Also, as Sushma ma'am already gave a brief about the program, which is called Start Exporting in 8 weeks. If you would like to be part of that program and benefit from the 8 functional sessions that we have on essential points about starting export, you please just again visit our website indiaexports.com and register for the program. Any sort of questions, queries that you may have regarding the program, you can address it to itd@indiasmeforum.org. Our team will get back to you with the answer. The recording link of these sessions will be available on our YouTube channel, the India SME Forum. And as usual, for getting any information about all our program, you may please visit the website of indiasmeforum.org. And with that, I would like to thank everyone once again and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
very much.
Thank you so
everyone.
much for having us here.